Everyone has big dreams. Maybe you've always wanted to write a book, run a marathon, or start your own business. Or maybe you've dreamed of a better life, a life where you wake up every day excited to do what you love. But here's the thing, dreaming about it and actually making it happen, that's the tricky part. You've probably heard the stories of people who seem to have it all together and wondered, how do they do it? How did they turn their dreams into reality? Well, today, I'm going to share 5 simple but powerful tips that can help you achieve everything you've ever wanted. These aren't abstract ideas or complicated strategies. They're real actionable steps that you can start using today. Whether it's your career, personal life, or that dream you've been holding on to for years, these tips will help you make it happen. So if you're ready to finally take control and turn those dreams into action, let's dive in. Tip number 1. Break your big goals into small, manageable tasks. Now, this might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful strategies you can use to make progress. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you look at the big picture. Whether you're trying to launch a business, write a book, or get in shape, it's easy to get stuck in the enormity of the task. But here's the secret. Instead of focusing on the massive end goal, break it down into bite-sized chunks. Think about it. Let's say you want to write a book. Looking at a blank page and thinking about how much work it will take can stop you dead in your tracks. But if you break it down, just focus on writing 1 page a day, 1 paragraph at a time, it becomes so much more manageable. Each small step you take is a victory. Over time, those small steps add up, and before you know it, you've written a book. Example. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a business. The process of building a company can feel like a mountain to climb, but you don't need to worry about the entire journey right away. Instead of worrying about the million tasks ahead, start with 1. Write your business plan. That's it. Focus on the first thing you need to do, and don't worry about the rest just yet. As you check off those small tasks one by one, you'll gain momentum and confidence. Tip number 2. Make marginal improvements consistently. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant results. We want to be good at something right away. But here's the truth. You don't have to be perfect right from the start. You don't need to be a genius or have everything figured out in one go. What you need is consistency. Small, steady improvements add up in ways you can't even imagine. Let's say you want to learn to play the guitar. The first time you pick up the instrument, it's probably not going to sound great. But if you commit to practicing for just 15 minutes a day, you'll start to improve. It won't happen overnight, but every single day, you'll get just a little bit better. And those little improvements? Over time, they will accumulate into real mastery. Example. Take a look at some of the world's best performers. Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest tennis players in history, didn't get there by being naturally better than everyone else. He got there by focusing on improving just 1% every single day. Whether it was his physical fitness, his mental focus, or his strategy on the court, every day he focused on making a small, incremental improvement. That 1% added up over years to make him the champion he is today. That's the power of consistency. It's not about giant leaps. It's about small, continuous steps forward. If you aim for a 1% improvement every day, you'll see massive results in the long run. Tip number 3. Leverage your existing habits and passions. Here's the truth. You don't have to force yourself into something you don't enjoy. In fact, trying to completely change your routine or pick up a new hobby that feels foreign can be exhausting and demotivating. Instead, tap into what you already love doing and use it to fuel your goals. We all have hobbies, routines, and interests that we naturally gravitate towards. These don't have to be separate from your goals. They can be the key to helping you get there. It's about aligning what excites you with the changes you want to make. Example. Maybe you love being outside. Instead of forcing yourself to go to the gym every day, turn that passion for nature into a fitness routine. Go for a hike or a run in the park. Or perhaps you're an avid reader. Instead of watching TV or scrolling through social media, use that time to read books related to your goals. If you're trying to start a business, read books on entrepreneurship. If you're looking to improve your health, read books on nutrition or fitness. Leverage what you already do to help you move closer to your goals. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. By combining what you already love with what you want to achieve, you'll find yourself staying motivated and making progress. Tip number 4, become an active participant in your decision-making. We all make decisions every day, some big, some small. But many times we don't consciously think about the choices we're making. Instead of being passive in your own life, take ownership of every decision you make. The small decisions you make each day add up to create the life you want. Think about it. Every time you choose to watch TV instead of working on your project, that's a decision. Every time you choose to skip a workout or ignore an important task, that's a choice too. And it's those small decisions, made moment by moment, that determine whether or not you achieve your goals. Example. Here's an example. You're busy at work, and you've got a ton of things on your plate. But you also know there's a personal project you've been putting off. Maybe it's a side business, a fitness goal, or learning a new skill. The temptation to skip it and watch Netflix is real. But in that moment, you can make a choice. Instead of sinking into the couch, decide to take 30 minutes to work on your goal. Even if it's just making one phone call, writing a paragraph, or researching a step you need to take. It's a small decision, but it'll have a big impact. Every small decision you make is either pushing you closer to your goal or holding you back, so make them count. And finally, tip number 5. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Now, we all want results. It's exciting to think about achieving your big goals. But if all you focus on is the destination, you might miss out on one of the most important parts of the journey, the growth you experience along the way. Think about your favorite hobby, or the thing you love doing just for the sake of it. You don't do it just because you want to get something out of it, right? You do it because the process itself is enjoyable. That's the mindset you need to adopt for your big goals. Sure, you want to achieve success, but what will make the journey worthwhile is the process. The small tasks, the challenges you face, the lessons you learn. Example. Let's say your goal is to read 50 books this year. Instead of obsessing over reaching that number, focus on the process of reading. Enjoy the insights, the stories, and the ideas you discover along the way. The more you focus on the experience itself, the less stress you'll feel about reaching the finish line. And when you do reach that goal, whether it's reading 50 books, running that marathon, or building your dream business, you'll realize the real reward is the person you've become in the process. Remember, achieving anything in life doesn't require magic or supernatural talent. It requires a commitment to small actions, daily improvements, and making decisions that align with your goals. You already have everything you need to succeed. It's just about breaking things down into manageable tasks, staying consistent, and enjoying the journey. So what will you start working on today? What small step can you take right now that will move you closer to your dream? The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Take action. Your dreams are closer than you think. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more practical advice. And hey, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling us about the big goal you're going to start working on today. Let's make this a community of people who are taking action, chasing their dreams, and celebrating their progress. You've got this. Now let's get to work.